Hello, fellow traders. 'Tis I, TheRumpledOne, coming to you on Friday, October the 21st. The year's 2022. Let's talk trading. It's time for the weekly wrap-up. These videos are for educational purposes only. Your results may differ from mine. So let's take a real quick look at the month, and you can see we're just 10 pips below the monthly open. We've been zigzagging it across it today. A lot of price action today. For the week, we're about 80 pips below the weekly open, but that could change. And we have two gaps that did not fill. But you can see the pound had a nice gap up and it filled it. The weekly opening range, we opened inside of it today, and we broke through it at 1207. We also broke through the opening range for the month at 1084 here. That's 110.84. I just abbreviated it. And you can see right here, we're just crisscrossing this open for the month right here. We are 2,377 pips below the yearly open, 792 above the yearly high, above the yearly low, and 2,597 pips below the yearly high. So you can see, and we're definitely moving the price down. Looks like this month might be an inside bar. We'll have to see what happens next week. Today's price action's been really interesting. We had an inside bar 3 days ago, yesterday, and the previous day, Thursday, Wednesday, broke out of that low at 1250, call it 1255 or 1254, and you can see we're below that today. Okay, across the chart you can see we've got a lot of pairs with 100 pips or more, and the pound is just coming in behind the yen. Yen leading at 194, pound at 176. But it's real interesting that I was just got off the phone with Walmart a little bit ago. We were trading. Actually, he was listening to me trade because he was already done for the day, but he did take another trade. You know how Walmart is. But you can see from here to here, we had quite the move. From that low to here, it's like 115, 16 pips. I mean, that was quite the move. And right now, price is in the launch pad, which is the 40s. And somebody asked me about that. I think I answered the question. It's just something that I have observed on the pound, that when it gets around that 40 line, so like right here, 1140-ish, it just likes to move. And you can see here, 1, 2, 3 times it just moved right above it. Now we just crossed below it. But it's usually good from anywhere from a couple of pips to 10 to 20, because for some strange reason it likes to seek out the 60. And there you can see it crossing above it again for a couple of pips. And the green rat's definitely feasted. I have to tell you something. I was long. I had a long down here. And actually, I had a long. I was down a few pips. I was long, I believe it. What was it? 1108. And I punched out with like maybe a 2-pip gain when it came back. And then it ran all the way up here. So they brought out some buckets of shrimp. So I don't like to say that, those pips weren't on the table for me to take, but as soon as I left the table, the waiters came out and they brought out, like I said, trays of shrimp. And there we go, another 2 or 3 pips, 5 pips. Now, another thing I've noticed on this, on the launch pad, if you get in at 40 and it doesn't hit 45 within a couple of minutes, it's usually time to get out. That's, once again, that's observational. Bambino Flex said if you're near the pivot or just to be short for the day, near the pivot trading plan said short. We didn't really, we didn't hit the pivot today. Missed pivot. You can see that right here. We got a missed pivot. We almost took out the missed pivot from 6 days ago. We got the weekly and we got the monthly, but we did not get today's pivot so far. Anything could happen. And somebody asked me about the wick zone indicator. As you can see here, it's a 2014 donational. But as I've mentioned before, you can use TRO HL5 and to configure the wick zone. That's a free download. It just doesn't have the extra information here, the panel. And that was just something that, I guess panels were popular, I don't know, back in 2014, so I colored in the panel. You can see price just dropped from 48 to 44, and the price has really been moving. On my broker, they stole from me a couple times. I was up maybe a pip or two. I go to punch out and I get out minus 0.3 or minus 0.7. Sometimes it's just ugly. You just have to time it right. The weekly range on the pound 379 at the 50 percentile. Who knows if we expanded today or not, but that's, you know, right there in the middle. Can't complain. We didn't break out at a high. Oh, I'm sorry, we did break out at a high by 59 pips, but we did not break out at the low. High minus close at the moment is 254. Close minus low 134. High minus open for the open range trade 208. Open minus low 171. So pips to be had trading across that weekly open line. And as I mentioned before about the 40 line here, we can even bring it down to the 1 minute. As you can see here, it didn't break it, pulled back over 20 pips. Here it broke it, closed, came back down, launched up. You had a chance to take 10 or more depending on how you were trading here. You see here another opportunity to take 10 or more, once again depending on how you're trading, because you can see here you're up, price shot down and then moved up. And so that's why sometimes you might be happy with taking 3-4 pips, doing it over and over, in and out quick, so you're not at risk. Okay, once again below the 40. We got 37 seconds left. And here it's crawling back above the 40. But you've got a red M1 versus a green H1. So you can see how it's basically doing a little consolidation, ranging right here. But there again, it just hit 46. But you have to be quick. So when you see it run up like that, just boom, take your pips, and hopefully they don't take too many away. But look, you can see how quick the price is changing. Breaking out of the previous H1 high. Looks like it wants that 60. As I mentioned, it's getting close. The ask is at 60. There we go. So it just seems to work that way. I'm thinking that there's there's probably some big trader, either a bank or hedge fund or something, but whenever the price is something 40, hits that 40 line, it just seems to move. Not every time, because it didn't break it there. But when it breaks it, it just seems to go. And of course, these videos are for educational purposes only. Your results may differ from mine. So, always have your stop loss in place. And looking at the lower high, higher low, and right here you can see there's a trade triggered at 76, and it went all the way up to 110.76 to 111.76. There was a possible 100 pip move right there if you stayed in that trade. But then again, I mean, if you stayed in that trade the whole time, you gave back almost 20 pips there. Let's see. Come on, candle. I don't know why it doesn't want to tell me. Oh, here we go. Come on. Doesn't want to tell me what the... That is so weird. I'm not sure why it's doing that. There we go. High was 49. Close was 28. So that's 21 pips you would have had to give back and then make up again. And for a trader like me, I don't like to give back 20 pips. I don't like to give back 2 points. But that's just how it goes. Let's see. I had a trader ask about the frequency distribution indicator I wrote, and it's a 2017 donational frequency distribution, the hour, day of the day that the high-low occurs. So you can see here, we're in bar 16, and according to this, the low of the day has occurred 3 times during this hour. During the previous hour, it hadn't occurred, so today might just be a new day for that, for the statistics. And I'm just looking at the last 52 days. You can run this up. You can, like, say, look at the last 250, a year's worth of and so at the 16, you see we had 5%. So of course you're pretty much going to see this, but when you see these big numbers jump out here, so at 15, 16, 17, so we're at that's the 15, that's the 16, so it put in a low today, the 1500 hour, and according to the frequency distribution, that's the hour to look for a low. Does it work every time? Well, you can see, no, it doesn't, but it'll just give you a clue what to look for and when to look for it. And for the range here, 572 for the month, you can see but I don't think we've accumulated any more range. Let's just see. Nope, we're still at 33.90 for the year. And here, nothing really new, nothing that you really can't see. But you can see we went down to the daily S2 and we moved back up. So, fellow traders, hope you have a profitable day, week, month so far. And I'm going to wish you a fun and safe weekend, and a quick hello to the traders who follow my thread over there on Reddit. And as always, remember, it's not what you trade, it's how you trade it. So go out there and drain the banks. This is the Rumpled One, over and out.